Late on news again, so you're getting an unconventional episode from me. These are my top 5 bold Tesla predictions for 2018. Happy New Year. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 343 for January 2nd, 2018. I'll start things off with my thoughts on Model 3 deliveries for Q1 2018. Now maybe I should wait a couple days to make this prediction since we'll get Q4 2017 production numbers very, very soon, but I like to live on the edge. While Elon has promised they'll reach 5,000 cars produced per week before the end of the quarter, I don't think they're going to get it done. It literally took years to get Model S and Model X combined to that production point. They've yet to manage production for a single model on this level, and the difficulty in getting there, I believe, is harder for Model 3 since they have to get all that automation right. Despite this, I think they're going to have it at 3,500 per week before the quarter is out. Put me down predicting they'll hit 30,000 deliveries of Model 3 in Q1 this year. As a bonus prediction, I think they'll hit their 5,000 per week goal in May. Prediction number 4 kind of dovetails with the one following it. While we've already got a teaser image of Model Y, I don't think we're getting anything more substantive in 2018. Tesla will be too busy getting Model 3 right to even think of dealing with Model Y. Moreover, they've still got to fill the 400,000 or so orders of Model 3 before piling up another 500,000 plus for Model Y. In addition, Tesla has already stated that they'll need a new factory in order to produce Model Y. Fremont is out of room with the addition of Model 3 to the lineup. I think we'll get a Model Y announcement in the same time frame we did with Model 3 in that end of Q1, start of Q2 area, but in 2019. Bonus prediction on this one too, but one that will be a long time until we see if I'm right. Unfortunately, for those waiting for Model Y, I don't think we'll see production begin for Model Y until Q4 2021 at the absolute earliest, due to the aforementioned need for a factory for the vehicle. With my assuming no announcement until 2019, you have to think it'll take at least a year to build the factory, and then the same amount of time to procure equipment and build the production lines. As my wife will be replacing her ICE with the Model Y, I hope I'm wrong, but I'm fairly confident in this one. Prediction number 3 is predicated on the last one. I think the other major reason we won't see Model Y in 2018 is that Tesla will be busy finally showing some profit on their balance sheet, hopefully getting rid of one of the final things that haters have to say. I believe that Tesla will show at least 2 significantly profitable quarters in 2018. It's really the only dent in Tesla's armor, and as those of us that follow the company know, it's the spin-up of new products that burn the cash in the company, and Model 3 has been torching cash for 6 quarters now. With Model 3 production lines completed, the fact that they'll need some cash to build that factory I just talked about, and the cherry on top for investors if that cash didn't require a debt raise or stock dilution, I think Tesla will be the talk of 2018 from an investment standpoint. Disclaimer, I have in the past owned Tesla stock in a long position. I don't currently own any stock, though I am considering initiating a new long position within the next 90 days. I suppose prediction number 2 goes with the last one too. We've seen the new interior for Model 3, and the Model S and Model X interior has remained largely unchanged since the cars were introduced. With the introduction of the Semi, we saw the same design cues as Model 3, and I think this is no coincidence. Couple this with Tesla's wish to streamline production and be able to gain multiple uses for the same equipment to gain manufacturing efficiencies, I think we're going to see Model S and Model X begin to look very much like Model 3. I think the most obvious change we'll see is the HVAC system of Model 3 make its way into the big cars. I think the change most won't expect is that while the cars will retain the binnacle, I think they'll convert to Model 3's landscape-oriented 15-inch center screen. Who knows, maybe we'll even get the fabled HUD to replace that binnacle, or as an option to replace that binnacle. I think we'll see this announced in Q4. The last bold prediction I'm going to make is that we're finally going to get the 2170 cells in Model S and Model X, and Tesla will use it to embarrass the competition yet again. It's no secret that Tesla has a bit of an issue right now differentiating Model S from Model 3. This would be the way to do it, and in grand fashion. My bold prediction is that at some point in 2018, and maybe along with my last prediction of the interior refresh, this will become reality. The shocker will be this. Taking a cue from the Roadster reveal, where we saw them stuff a 200 kilowatt-hour battery into a car that's smaller than Model S, as well as the Semi reveal, where we saw them get enough energy density into a truck hauling 80,000 pounds to allow it a 500-mile range at highway speeds, I think we're going to see a stupefying range increase for the big cars. Tesla's mission statement started as accelerating the advent of sustainable transport, and more recently, sustainable energy in general. They've started the ball, with more and more mainstream companies announcing or releasing basic electric vehicles, but certainly no world beaters. To further maintain their stranglehold as the leader in the EV sector, and to spur those other companies to start putting out better vehicles, the Model S standard range battery, just as they've switched the nomenclature on the Model 3, will have a range of 400 miles, and the Model S long range will be a whopping 550 miles. Model X will take a similar cue with a 350-mile standard range battery and a 500-mile long-range battery. There will no longer be any excuse on the range side from the people that keep saying they need 400 miles on a charge to go electric. Tesla will have raised the bar again and thrown down the gauntlet for other manufacturers to play catch-up yet again. That's it for today. Being the start of a new year, I want to take a quick moment and thank everyone that listens to the show. As I always say, I know your time is valuable. I do my best to bring you content worth your time, and I thank you for spending it with me. Again, as always, a huge thank you to all the patrons supporting the show on Patreon out there. We started the year with only 9 of you supporting me on Patreon, and we now have a whopping 38 patrons. And 13 of you are supporting the show at the $10 plus level. Those folks are John Waltauer, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Quindici, John Rich, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, and Adam Raymer Brown. Thanks ever so much to all of you for your support. If you're not already a supporter and would like to start, check out the show Patreon page at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. The show does take significant time to prepare each episode, at least 2 hours per day on average, and your financial support would be very much appreciated. Again, though, as I've also said plenty of times, I know not everyone can support with dollars, and that's quite all right. Your support by telling other folks about the show and leaving positive feedback on your service of choice that you get the show from is also very important and helpful, especially if you can subscribe, leave a positive rating or review on iTunes, or subscribe on YouTube. Those two things especially help the show bubble up in suggestions so that others can discover the show. Finally, I want to thank John Waltauer especially for supplying his referral code for the show. That code is TS.LA/JON4602, and at least for this period, gets you free supercharging for the life of your vehicle. Even though we're yet to get any referrals through it, I'm happy to try to get some for a listener each referral period, in exchange for a prize or two if we can get some of those referrals. Sadly, in Ohio, I'm not eligible for the program, so I'll continue the practice of supplying a listener code each period when this one ends. As usual, please send me your feedback to my Twitter handle at Tesla Tidbits, which is my preferred method, or by email to podcast@teslatidbits.com if you have something to say that takes more than 280 characters. Again, make sure to use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question or comment to be considered for the show. That's it for 2017, and we welcome in 2018. Happy New Year, and I'll see you all back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.